Welcome back, guys, to the Lap by Lap podcast. I'm your host, Ethyn White, research and sustainability engineer for Ecolyte. So we're just going to be going back off the review that we had, pre-race review that we had for Bahrain, and we're just going to be doing a bit of a follow-up. I think it was not the most entertaining race. Max Verstappen ran away, had one of the biggest leads that Bahrain has ever seen. Like at the end of the race, it was about 22 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Very large lead. Wasn't really competition. Leclerc challenged him at the start, but then Leclerc faded away. He had a bit of a brake issue from what he's been telling the media. I don't know if it was like a cooling issue or whatever, but that definitely very much impacted his result. It was a Red Bull 1-2. So it wasn't too like a. It was good for Sergio. Let's put it that way. That's what he needs to be staying in the. That's what he needs for the results to be staying in Red Bull. We then had like the first lap a bit of an incident where Hulkenberg went in the back of Stroll, spinning him around. That didn't stop Stroll from getting back into the points though, which I think was very good for him. A big surprise I think was the McLarens. The McLaren showed that they're not repeating their cycle of having a bad performance at the start. They were challenging the Mercedes and the Mercedes and the Aston Martins. That was very impressive by them, I think. We had Bottas's long pit stop during the race. That was definitely flashbacks to Monaco 2021. If people don't know, that's considered like the longest pit stop because the Mercedes couldn't get the wheel nut off. So the wheel nut actually holds the wheel nut holds tight onto the car. So that's what allows the teams to get take the wheels on and off. So they have the which I don't know what it's specifically called. Uh, a- it's called, they use a wheel gun, which then they quickly spins this nut off of the wheel, and then they were able to switch it. But however, Mercedes wasn't able to do this, so this hindered, basically made Bottas retire. And I think if you search it up, it took them about 23 hours to get the nut off. So this was very similar to Bottas in Bahrain again as well. Where luckily they were able to take the tire off this time, didn't result in him having DNF. Another big issue was with the two teammates of Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda. Daniel Ricciardo in the late race had softs where Yuki was on mediums, I think it was. So they were trying to fight one of the Haas drivers to try get into the points. However, Yuki was in front, and they asked to swap the cars around. Where Yuki was like, "No, I don't want it to happen." And the team kept on asking him. Eventually, he did let it pass, but Yuki was very frustrated by it. So there was a bit of conflict there at the end of the race while they're doing the cool down lap. Yuki dive bombed him. So there was definitely a bit of tension between the two. So maybe this might be like something that continues throughout the season where they're just trying to fight to be number one. Because I definitely do think it's will be a bit of a battle because you have Yuki Tsunoda, the youngster, trying to prove that he can be the next Red Bull driver. But then you also have Daniel Ricciardo, who's proven multiple times at Red Bull that he has been a good driver. He's just had a bad couple of seasons, and he's just trying to get his footing back again. So overall, the Grand Prix wasn't too exciting. You had Max Verstappen dominance. Hopefully this doesn't continue for the rest of the season. Hopefully that Ferrari is able to catch up to him and able to take away his winning streak because at the moment he's on track to beat his old one of 11 wins, I think it was. Well, I thank you guys for listening and hope you have a great day. That's it from me.